So does your calendar look a little bit like this? When I got my license years ago and I was a brand new real estate agent, probably just like you right now, I had absolutely no idea what to do on a daily basis, and that resulted in having a pretty poor income over the course of my first 12 months in real estate. And what I'd like to do is rewind the clocks, knowing what I know now, what would I be doing as a brand new real estate agent to stack my calendar to be as productive as absolutely possible to become a 7-figure real estate agent that much faster. So stay tuned. Okay, so let's dive right into it. I got a lot of tips here, so we're just gonna rip right through. The first part that I like to talk about, to be blunt, is to have and live by a calendar. If you don't work and live by a calendar as a real estate agent, time is just gonna pass you by and you're not gonna be as productive as you can. Everything, every minute of your calendar should be booked previous. Now, don't get me wrong. You're going to have some slots blocked off for possible tentative appointments, which I'm going to talk about a little bit, but live and work by a calendar in every facet. I don't care if you're going to go out for coffee. I don't care if you're going to have a bathroom break. I don't care if you're going to, go on a date. I don't care what it is, whether it's real estate related, professional or personal, put it in the calendar. This way you start learning and understanding how important timing is. Number 2 is start and end your day at the same time if possible, okay? What I like to do is I like to start my day every single day, Monday through Friday when I work, at the same exact time. Now, yes, when I started brand new, I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, I did have a 7-day work week because I had all the time in the world, right? Some of you have kids, some of you have another job, whatever the case may be, but for me, I was a 20-something-year-old. I had 7 days that I could do whatever I wanted with, so I needed to make this work, okay? So I worked 7 days a week. For you, let's just stick to starting at the same time. You don't have to end at the same time every single day, but I would try to get into that routine after like a couple months because it definitely can get exhausting working all the time because you're just sitting on your phone. So what I'd like to challenge you to do is start every single day at the same time. For me, when I started, I would start my day at the office at 7 o'clock or earlier every single day. Now, I was at the office, doesn't mean I was making phone calls or doing anything specifically productive, except for, I would do my morning prep, I would listen to some meditation stuff, I would get myself in a good peak state, and I would spend the first 30 minutes kind of just doing all the nonchalant things, getting my cup of coffee, going to the bathroom, making sure that I was prepared, because I would start at 7:30 a.m. every single day on the phones. Now, I don't do that anymore, but I would still recommend, if you're a brand new real estate agent, listen, if someone told you that you can't call at 7:30, or 7:30 is not a good time, I got a lot of great results because I was the first one on the phones. People were on their way to work. People had no problem talking to me. Listen, there's never a good time to get cold called, so I might as well be the first one. And the coolest part was when it was 7:45 a.m. and I already had 3 appointments and my competition was still sleeping. That was really cool. So anyways, start your day every single day at the same exact time. For me right now, I started around 8 to 8:30 every single day. I get prepped. My team call starts at 8:45. I'm done by normally 9:10, 9:15, and I'm making calls by 9:15, 9:30 every single day. Keeps me really consistent. An end time, just to talk about that for a quick second, if you like to start an end time every single day at the same time, what I'd like to challenge you to do is kind of bookend your days. Now, bookending your days is what a lot of top performers do. They have a start time and they have an end time. So for a long time, I didn't have an end time, and I would work until 11 o'clock at night. I was actually going through some of my old stories, my archives on my Instagram, and it was insane how many hours I would work. I would work over 100 hours a week. I just did whatever it takes because I didn't have another option, right? I had to be successful. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, like my first 2 years of real estate was terrible because I wasn't doing any of this. I had a blank calendar. Anyways, I would start with something between 6 and 7 o'clock, maybe 8 o'clock at the absolute latest. Listen, if you're a hustler and you want to make everything happen, for the first 90 days, work 24/7, 365. Don't take a day off. If you're starting a new business, and I'm being honest, no one else is going to build it for you, so you need to understand what it takes. Now, again, if you have another job, if you have kids and all these other things, I understand, and I want you to know, I'm empathetic to your situation. You don't have to work 100 hours a week, but realize the results you're going to get, and it might just take you a little bit longer. Me, I was when I got back in the business and I started really committing to my calendar and everything that I'm talking about here today, within a span of 12 months, my first 12 months back in the business at 23, I made $140,000. At 24, I made $400,000. I'm living proof that this stuff works, right? So it's just, if you stick to a calendar, and I started to have an end time somewhere between 7 and 9 o'clock, depending on the days, because I would have longer days and I've had shorter days. Now, number 3, I'm going to talk about this point for a little bit. Commit to cold calling / lead generation, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter, for 3 to 4 hours a day, minimum. Yes, you heard me right. At the beginning of your career, please tell me if there's anything more important in this world as a brand new real estate agent, as a brand new business owner, than lead generation. And by the way, I'm going to include in the lead generation, which I'm going to have a couple things here, cold calling a database, which is just in your phone. Try to go to my contacts. I now have 2,364 contacts in my phone as of today. I would reach out to every single one of them in some way, shape, and form, right? At least spend 1 hour going through the database, because you don't know who you don't know who you don't know. And honestly, if you don't connect with everyone in your phone book, I guarantee you some other realtor is going to connect with them. And by the way, I'm going to create another video which dives into exactly what I would say and how to, what lead gen specifics I would be doing as well. But just to take a quick second, if you're wondering what listing mastery is, I'll explain it right here. And this video is sponsored by my listing mastery course. And in this course, we talk about everything you need to know, from how to get a lead all the way to signing your first listing or your next listing. Now, understand, you can join the hundreds of agents who have joined us in this course who have already seen the results they've desired. This is for agents that are either brand new in the business, or those agents who are on the financial roller coaster, who feel stuck and frustrated and want to go to the next level. And for those of you who are listening right now, you can put in the code SAVE20 at henryeisenstein.com and click on the courses tab. Again, SAVE20 to save 20% off right now. So I also want to keep diving into the fact that you could be cold calling your database, like we talked about, circle prospecting, which, listen, if you sold a home hypothetically at 123 Main Street, you're a brand new realtor, you just sold a home, or if someone in your business, in your brokerage just sold a home in some neighborhood, you could just say, hey, my company just sold a home right around the corner. You don't even need to have it be your company. I've literally done it 1,000 times in my career where I just be like, hey, a property right around the corner from you, 123 Main Street, just sold. Wasn't me, wasn't my brokerage. It was just a random property that sold. It's public information, therefore I can say it. I'm not going to say I sold it, but I am going to say it sold, and I want to be able to bring them that information. That's, circle prospect. You could do door knocking. I wasn't a huge fan of door knocking, but door knocking is a great thing you can be doing. You could be doing open houses on weekends. You could do it during weekdays. Calling your sphere of influence. I know we talk about calling your database, but sphere of influence for me is like literally the most important people in your life. Call them, love on them, see who they know. And by the way, it's not just about who you know. It's about who the people that you know, right? Because you have a much bigger network than you realize with 1 degree of separation, and it's up to you to dig into that. And the last part I had on here is networking events are really freaking powerful. And we're going to talk about specifically what to do with networking events for your calendar in a second. So you're going to have your start time. Let's just say it's 9 o'clock every day. Keep it simple. You're going to have 30 minutes of prep time. Get your coffee done, go to the bathroom, get ready to make your calls and get into lead gen. So once you've taken your 15 to 30 minutes to get everything off your plate, you're going to sit down. Then I want you to just have a really quick meeting with yourself, daily team meeting, even if it's just you by yourself, and you're just going to set your intention for the day. You're going to say, my intention for today is to get 3 leads, to set 1 appointment, to make X amount of calls. Whatever it is, set a couple different intentions. These are my goals for today, okay? Which could take 5 minutes, 2 minutes, doesn't have to be a long time. If you're going to start at 9, so you do this from 8:30 to 8:45, 8:50, take your 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you need to get prepped. 9 o'clock, you start hitting the phones. You go through any one of these things that we just talked about and spend legitimately 3 to 4 hours making your calls from 9 to 12, 9 to 1, whatever it is. And I'm telling you right now, what I was taught was what you do before 12 noon as a real estate agent will define your year. So if you're not an early riser, by the way, I'm guilty as charged. I'm a night person. I had to, for the beginning part of my career, completely flip it. Go to bed at like 10, 11, because that was still hard for me. And then I would wake up at 3, 4, 5 o'clock because I wanted to get started at 7 a.m. or 6:30 or 6 o'clock because my competition was trying to put me out of business. And so I wanted to be able to beat everyone. Listen, I had nothing else to be doing. You really have nothing else to be doing as a brand new business owner. So stack your morning with as many hours of calling as you possibly can uninterrupted. And listen, if someone calls you, you send them to voicemail. It's okay. And you're going to call them back after 12. You know how many times you probably call somebody and they didn't answer and it went to voicemail? Exactly. Next point. Social media time. Listen, guys, we're going into 2022, baby. I mean, 2022. This is an incredible year of social media, the metaverse, all these crazy things, Oculus. Things are it's insane. We're living in virtual reality, and you're not doing stuff on social media. What are you doing? Take 15 to 30 minutes every single day. Post something on social media. Build your brand every single day. Post something on your stories. Do whatever it takes every single day to just put up some content. Next one is networking time. Every single day, you should either be planning for your next networking event, researching and scheduling your next networking event that you're going to go to or host, or attending, right? And by the way, I wrote down networking time. However, I would say like this. Anything that you do as a group, whether that's golf, because you love golf hypothetically. I'm terrible at it, by the way. But golfing, going to the gym and doing a group workout at the gym, whatever it is, a charity event, anything that gets you in front of other people, book club, knitting, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. But you need to get in front of a big group of people, a small group of people, it doesn't matter, but a couple people, right? And every single day, try to just get into a new group or spend more time with people that have been good connections for you. Spend 15 to 30 minutes minimum, either planning or scheduling, and then make sure you just make it a priority. I'm the kind of person where I like to show up promptly at the networking events, get some cards, get some contacts of people who I really want to get to know, maybe on a one-to-one basis, and then I leave early. That's the way I've done it. That's what I still do to this day. Don't get me wrong, if it's a fantastic event, I'll stay longer, but I don't need to stay to the very end because once I get some contacts, I don't need to stay there and grab a drink. I just need to get out and I need to go back to work. But I like to try to do that either during the lunch hour, which is like right after. Like, listen, don't go to lunch by yourself. And if you're gonna go to lunch by yourself, order it to your office or to your home and eat and make calls. There's no reason to spend the money and go out and get food. And if you're gonna eat by yourself, eat at home, eat at office, like make your calls while you do it. If you're gonna go out, eat with somebody else you can network with, right? Lunch or dinner, that's perfect, but at least you can double down on your time. Next part, self-development time. You need to be better than yourself each and every single day. Just because you graduated college, maybe, I didn't, but if maybe you graduated college, you know how many people stop educating themselves in their life? Terrible, absolutely terrible. You need to constantly be educating yourself in every single facet, just like watching this video. You can watch any of my other videos. Listen, I do it while I work out. I do it while I drive. I double down on my on my self-development time. I need to be listening to content every single day. My commitment to myself has always been an hour of content every single day. I do a little bit in the morning, a little bit at night, a little bit while I drive, all the time, right? I'm not driving with music. I'm driving with with a book or a video. So make sure you spend 15 to 30 minutes minimum every single day, ideally an hour. Next part is practice time and role-playing time. Make time. Listen, get an accountability partner. What I did years ago, I had somebody, another younger guy just like me, who was also starting newer in the business, and we just role-played every single day. We just said like, hey, this is the objection I'm trying to overcome. Can you help me out with it? He would pretend to be the client. I'd be the agent. Then we switched. He was the agent. I was the client. We both got to learn how to overcome objections by practicing on each other instead of practicing on the client, right? Just works out really well. Spend 15 minutes. And by the way, that agent doesn't even need to be in your state, in your area, or anything. I used to practice with people in California, right? I mean, it was just cool, right? I mean, like you got to get to know people all over the country. Next part on here is for every 1 hour of prospecting that you do, you can do 15 minutes worth of administrative tasks because so many new agents focus on non-dollar productive activities instead of dollar productive activities. The only thing that makes you money in this business is lead generation, making phone calls, getting on the phone, hypothetically, either on the phone or face-to-face with a client, that's right, or negotiating a deal, and that's it. If you're not negotiating a deal or face-to-face or on the phone with a client, you're not making money in this business. So things like pulling comps, the things like checking your emails, the things like, running errands and putting up block boxes and signs, all this kind of stuff, that does not make you money, so stop freaking doing it during your workday. And listen, yes, I do it too. However, I block off 15-minute windows to get as much stuff as I get done. I put a 15-minute timer and I get it done as fast as I freaking can, right? Because it does not make me money. And I've delegated 99% of it off at this point. And here's the last couple points. Second last point is this. Be consistent. Because it's not about the person who puts in the greatest amount of results in one day. I mean, I remember I made like 11 or 1,200 calls in a day. I think it was the most I ever made. And I think I had like 130 contacts, 130 conversations in one day. Yeah, it was about 11 hours of calling nonstop. And yeah, that was really great. But if I never made another call again, it wouldn't have mattered. Does that make sense? So I'd rather you make 20 contacts a day, every day, 30 contacts a day, every day, for a year, 2, 3, 4, right? Like that's going to create a massive ripple effect in your business rather than making 100 one time forever, right? Does that make sense? So be consistent. If you're going to work 5 days a week, commit to working your 5 days. Be on, make your calls every single day. Do not give up. Keep it going, right? Whatever you're going to commit to that. And last point is this. Don't be afraid to take a day off and put the phone away. It's okay. You're allowed to do that, and you deserve that time, because real estate will suck the life out of you if you don't allow, if you don't control your calendar, your calendar is going to control you, right? That's the reality. So don't be afraid to take off 1 day a week. And listen, it can be simply for a couple hours. Like my big thing was going to be Saturday nights, where like I just wouldn't answer the phone after 6 p.m. and then I answer everything Sunday morning. It's not like anybody was a dire situation for a couple hours. I'm allowed to take time off. You are allowed to take time off. Just know that doesn't mean that you take 6 days off a week. You got to hustle. You have a brand new business. If you want to be successful in this business, it takes that consistency, really mastering your calendar, mastering your time, and putting in it's constant. It's every single day, really forever. I hope this video helps, guys. I'm so excited to see your success. And again, listen, Listing Mastery, for those of you who made it to the very end, there's a code called SAVE20, SAVE20. So again, if you made it to the end, you're going to get an amazing code, SAVE20, save 20% off my Listing Mastery course right now. Other than that, guys, I love you so much, and make it a great day.